Hometown Murder Tour is a true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only, assuming you find us entertaining.
That being said, stories of violence, sexual assault, and other criminal acts will be discussed, using adult language. Consider this your warning. Hey there.
Good afternoon, Sarah.
Well, it is afternoon. I was going to bust your balls and say it's not actually afternoon.
But it is, bitch.
Yeah, it's 12:05.
Yeah, so bust these balls. Wait, what? I don't know.
I don't know.
Hi. Hey, it's Hometown Murder Tour.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Amy.
And we're here again.
Yeah.
We got a case for you today.
We sure do.
But before we get into that,
we're going to do a little housekeeping.
Yep.
Some reviews.
First, let me ask you, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Me too. We just had lunch.
Yes. We
so
had some.
Off the air.
Yeah, you don't want to hear those mouth noises.
Just filling you guys
I
in.
have misophonia, and I would kill someone if I heard them eating on a podcast. So I'm not going to do that to you guys.
I might.
Well, Amy's
I'm an ass.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
And we've got our HMT baby update.
Yeah.
We'll be posting a video here.
Still a baby.
Still a baby.
Yep. Still
but much bigger baby.
Much bigger.
Yeah.
Just like
That's so cute.
I mean, we assume. I hope so.
Well, it could be.
I mean,
a puppy?
Yeah. I mean, she's
What if we could have whatever kind of baby we wanted? Breed.
Breed-wise?
Species. Like, you know what? I think I want a kitten baby.
I mean, you could just go buy one. I don't feel like you have to gestate. I feel like if you're going to go through all this, it better be a human-ass baby.
I don't know. Do we want another human-ass baby?
No.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I mean, I do.
Amy does.
Anyway.
I clearly just need to go adopt more pets.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Get you some pets.
Okay. Sorry.
We could have like a
so
hometown
dumb.
murder
You're
tour.
so dumb, Sarah.
We could have a mascot.
We do.
Like a HMT.
It's all of our dogs.
Well, I know, but they're like if you want to get another pet, we could just get one.
Just get
for
one.
Hometown Murder Tour.
Tax deduction?
Yes.
Yeah, because we make a lot of money on this.
I mean, yeah.
We're still waiting for that one check to come in.
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are.
With all the money. Anyway, doing okay then?
I'm doing great.
I'm covered in poison ivy.
Yes, you are. You did a little yard work.
Uh-huh. I'm miserable.
Leaves of 3, you know. You don't...
Look, here's the deal.
You're from Missouri. It's everywhere.
Was in one flower bed. I was digging up and thinning out my iris bulbs, people. Well, technically they're not bulbs. They're rhizomes. So let's not get that confused. Yep. Anywho, a lesson for you. They're not bulbs. Called rhizomes. However, I didn't see any poison ivy. But also, I don't really know what it looks like.
Now you know.
No,
you know? You
I
still
didn't
don't know?
see it. I never saw it. I ripped up some stuff.
I really don't think I've seen that flower bed in your front, and I don't.
It might have been one sprig because I'm highly allergic.
Well, okay. Usually, though, where there's one, I don't know. I'll investigate.
Okay.
When we get back to your house, I'll look at your.
It's been going on 3 weeks now. So I actually did make an appointment to go to the doctor tomorrow.
Yeah, it
just new places keeps coming up.
Keep spreading.
I don't get it. I've washed the dogs. I've washed all the bedding. I've washed all the clothes. Anyway, sorry guys. That was real boring.
She's got...
Nobody needs to hear about that. Okay, let's move on real quick.
Oh my god. Alright.
You got
what
some
are we doing?
Reviews?
Oh, reviews. Okay. Do you have any other sores or blisters that we need to talk about?
Well, that's a real personal question.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'll bring the other ones up.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think we're going to do some of our Podbean reviews now, because we kind of always just do the iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever the hell it's called now. Is it iTunes anymore? Or is it officially Apple Podcasts now? I don't know. Well, we're on
Apple
it. We don't even know what it is.
on iTunes.
There we go. That's what we normally do.
Yeah.
And we felt we need to do some of our Podbean reviews and comments that we've been getting as well. So there's a handful here. I'm just going to read out a few.
Okay.
Just to kind of give them some props, because some of them have been sitting there for a couple months. So I feel like we need to bring it up.
We're a-holes.
I know. So we have one very short, sweet comment from a QHYDD5 from Podbean.
Could we make the names more confusing?
There's some pretty confusing ones.
Okay.
That just says, this podcast fucking rocks.
Well, fuck yeah.
And yeah, hell yeah. Thank you.
Sorry I gave you shit
QHYDD5.
I wonder what that stands for. Make something up.
Yeah. Queen. Hot. Too much. I can't think.
Nope. That was a lot of pressure. Sorry.
Tagged onto that comment was from SQBWXC, which, guys,
are they making these up, or are they assigned?
I think they're assigned if they just sign up with Podbean, to have an account.
Well,
but if maybe you can change it.
Can't you change your algorithm that says Rabbit45 or something?
Or maybe they can, but they're just I'm just signed into Podbean because I want to listen, and I don't give a shit. But anyway, SQBWXC replied and said, I second this.
Oh, well,
so
thanks.
That's 2 people right there that says this podcast fucking rocks.
Yeah. I just said, yeah. That's so lame. Yeah.
I mean, man. Yeah. There's another one, Econ. We want to give a shout out to Econ. EKON actually has a podcast on Podbean as well, so you should check out Econ's. It's Econ Podcast. Econ posted about a month ago and said, I always look for podcasts with under 150 followers. It's now past 150, but Econ says support the small guys and gals, of course.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you to Econ, and you guys need to check out Econ Podcast on Podbean. And yeah, I think I'm gonna save. We had another recent one on Podbean, but I'm gonna save it because we might
need another one. We might be running out.
We might be running out. So I'm gonna save that for when we need to. But anyway, as always, rate us, review us, comment.
It's our favorite thing.
We really do love it. We'll send screenshots to each other did you see this one? Did you read this one? Look, it's a comment,
And then I'll go, yeah.
And then she goes, meh,
it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, do that, and we'll give you a shout out, even if it's just a bunch of initials that we don't understand.
Yep. We're going to make something up, and you're not going to like it.
So come up with a fucking name.
Please.
You better.
Yep.
All right.
Love
you. Okay. You want to say what we're doing, where we're going?
Okay.
For this?
Well, let me just preface.
Yeah.
Okay, people. Here's the deal. Today's going to be real upsetting.
It's not one we've really actually been looking forward to doing.
No, but
it's a big one.
It's a big one for the area, and it's, as any murder is horrifying and upsetting, this is exceptionally horrifying and upsetting.
Yes.
There's a reason we're choosing to do this today, but we'll get into that when we get into it. So,
but I guess we do need to say what it is, because we're pretty close to one of our sites that we have to drive by.
Get by. We're currently parked in a used to be mobile home sales park across from Romantic's adult boutique. If you've
and
from Springfield,
Pitbull Power Sports.
Yeah. So Romantic's used to be called
what was it?
Oh shit, it just lost it.
I know.
Paradise.
Was it Paradise? Oh yeah, Paradise, but Paradise adult store.
Back in college, we would go and walk through the store and giggle.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what you do when you're a 20-year-old girl and terrified of
do they have the
giant dildos.
The viewing booths in this one too?
I don't know about Romantic. Now they did.
They did. I know they
Paradise
used to.
had the
booths.
The booths. You just don't touch anything. Well, I never went in them.
No.
As far as you know.
As far as is that how you got all that stuff
Maybe
on you right
it's
now,
not poison ivy.
Maybe it's not poison ivy at
Latent syphilis.
Skin syphilis.
Okay, sorry. Back to so we're gonna get on the road and start driving to
Okay, so what we are doing the abduction and murder of Haley Owens, which is a few years old. It happened in 2014. But what we're going to do is we will drive by the site-ish.
Yes.
About where the abduction occurred. And so we wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that so that when we get there, we can talk about that, the area, that sort of thing. Yep. And then we'll do what we always do, kind of pause and then head to the other site.
Yep.
Okay. So we are going to do that.
All right. So
we are
putting it in drive. Seatbelt on? Yes.
Seatbelt is on. Okay. Safety first, people.
Safety first.
We're all about facts on this podcast and safety.
Yep. That's who we are.
Now, this is a busy...
How to get so busy all of a sudden?
I mean, it is noon on a Sunday. So we got church letting out.
Yep. What is that church called? Goodwill? No. Good...
There's a power line in the way.
Okay, I'm going to gun it.
Have you noticed, like, a lot of churches nowadays have to have cool names that don't say church? It's all called, like... Yeah, it can't be, like, First Something Baptist or the Church of Christ of whatever. It's all got to be, like, we're called Life Bridges or Tree of Life. And, I don't know. Just, like, be a fucking church and be regular about it.
Be regular about it, please. Don't pretend you're not a church.
Right.
Like,
I know you're a church.
Cool. I'm going to be the cool... Like the cool uncle.
Look, we're just like a warehouse building, man, and it just says like
wear your jeans.
Wear your jeans, and we're called Bridges.
And we have a band.
We're just called Bridges.
Yeah, Bridges. And we have a band. We've got drums, yo.
Yeah. Well, you're a church. Yeah. I'm on to you.
We know. Okay, sorry.
But also, if you go to Bridges,
sorry,
is that even a church?
I'm sure it's
Let's
lovely.
make a church. Let's start one called Bridget. We'll just call it Bridges.
What up, Bridges?
What up, my bridge?
That reminds me of, you remember my granddaughter, when she was little, tiny, she couldn't say bridge. It sounded like bitch.
Yeah,
and
she was
so
like
we
bitch.
would always be like,
hey, can you say what up, bridge?
Yeah,
she'd be like, what up, bitch? Making kids do stuff is fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I'm a good grandparent.
Yeah, you are. So now we're always like, what up, bridge?
Yep. So when you hear us say bridge, we actually mean bitch.
Yes.
Just so we're clear on that. Okay, we are now headed west on West Bypass, which is also known as 160.
And this is the same neighborhood. We've actually covered, we're not going to talk a whole lot
than one.
about, Westside neighborhood.
Maybe third time.
Yeah. So we're not going to go into all that again, because...
It's the same area. Is this green?
Nope, next one.
Okay.
It's the same area as the Shirley Rose,
and
first murder from the antifreeze murders.
Yes.
So we've been around the West Side neighborhood.
I mean, I don't want to put in very many judgments on the West Side, but just saying, West Side.
Listen, when we don't have to talk about it anymore because we've already talked about it, get your shit together, West Side.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to turn up here.
Yep, I see it. So we're, let's see.
We are
just past the Budweiser.
Yes.
What do you call that? Warehouse?
Ew.
Warehouse distribution. Scarecrows?
No, I'm looking at the wilsonscreekfarm.com blueberries with a giant Trump sign underneath it. So I will not be getting my blueberries there.
No.
But feel free. Sorry,
Trump
I'm not
blueberries.
Disparaging you if you like Wilson's Creek. I am disparaging you if you like Trump.
Look at that terror. That is a murder shack.
Holy shit. Wilson's Creek Farm?
What's happening? Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Stay on your reception.
Just died.
This is... Where is this?
I've never been down this road.
I've never been down this road.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to turn. You're going to turn. What?
Okay, so we have brand new, well, not brand new. Newer built, tiny little cookie cutter houses on one side. And terrifying shanties on the other side.
So this is a Westside Optimist Club Youth Baseball Complex.
Oh, that looks pathetic.
That's like Bad News Bears, man.
It is. It's dirt and it's like a bad after-school special over there.
So we are driving through this area, which is about to get real depressing here in just a second.
God,
turn right up here.
Okay.
And it will be right up around here where she was taken.
So she was We'll get on the details, but basically she was walking to a friend's house.
From a friend's
house.
Yep.
And so she was just walking down the street. No sidewalks.
No. And it's a pretty narrow street.
It's very narrow.
If you were parked on the side of the road, two cars couldn't go past. Like, you'd have to
I don't even know if 2 cars can go past just
right now. It is pretty narrow.
Yeah.
And it was right about here.
Okay.
According to our map. Somewhere in this area, no sidewalks. Yeah, and it kind of just drops off to ditch. So she would have been on the
right
street.
There. So it does make sense when we talk about
I had always wondered.
Grabbed her.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So
yeah, right here.
Okay. I mean, it's not horrible. I just saw ass crack.
Yep. There's a whole bunch of ass hanging out.
That was a lot of ass. Sorry.
Somebody was just kind of digging some stuff out of their car.
Yep. They needed to be
pulling some pants up. That's what they needed to be doing. But
so I bet the people on the street are just devastated. And we'll talk about that
too. But this is so we have just driven down the street, the area where she was taken. And then what we're going to do now is head to the location, the home where she was found.
Yep. Okay, so we'll be back in just a bit.
Hometown Murder Tour is brought to you by Serendipity Designs, offering handmade leather jewelry that is simply to die for.
Go to serendipitydesigns.com and enter the promo code MURDERTOUR, all one word, for an additional 10% off your order. That's SARAHNDIPITY designs.com. Don't miss out on this killer deal.
Okay, so we are now in the Delaware neighborhood, and we're right here.
Yep.
So I don't know.
So Delaware is kind of in between Roundtree area and Glenstone and Sunshine. So
it's really just between is it Grand and Sunshine, Glenstone and National.
Yeah. So that's
here it is.
The area.
Right here.
Oh, there it is. There's Amy.
Yep.
I'm already
But I'm just so thankful that this is what they've done.
Me too. So we can go ahead and say the house that she was found in, they've torn down.
They demolished pretty quickly after it happened. And they've turned it into this really cute community garden. Has tons of flowers and vegetables. And there's a little library, little neighborhood libraries and all kinds of wonderful things. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, the aftermath, kind of what they did after that. But that is the location of where the home was.
Yes, so it's in the Delaware area. The houses are, in this specific area, they're like tiny bungalow type houses. Most of them are pretty well kept.
There's a few little
some
areas here or
seeds,
there. They're just older and
but
need
it's a
some
cute,
TLC. Very cute little neighborhood.
Yeah. So let's see, where should we go park?
I think there's not really a whole lot unless we just get off of here and park at a business.
Well, let's go back down this street and go back down, and maybe Delaware. I know they're demolished Delaware.
The school, they're working on, they're rebuilding the whole thing.
Is there still parking there?
I don't think so. Okay. I think the whole lot, because I thought about that too. We could park at the Delaware school there.
Okay.
But I think it's completely gone. But we could maybe park in front of it. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe
we just want to do street parking or find a spot. Tell you what, folks.
You don't want to hear us find a place to park.
You don't want to hear us talk about this. So.
I mean, we could have planned ahead of time.
We could have.
But we did not.
But we didn't.
So suck it.
So we'll be right back again.
Again.
Okay.
Out.
We are back.
Out.
We are parked. Let's undo all this stuff.
Yep. Sorry. Seatbelts. We're parked on.
It's called the Doctor's Building, right on Sunshine.
Mm-hmm. Kind of across from Grove
Pharmacy
and Spa.
Yep. So we're right behind that, which is Delaware neighborhood. It really starts. It's just from Sunshine to Grand.
Yep.
So here we are.
Here we go. I need a sippy sip.
Yep.
Hold on. Guys, what I'm drinking is from Jersey Mike's, but see, what I like to do is a little Arnold Palmer.
Ooh, yeah, I love a good Arnold Palmer.
Mm-hmm. So that's what
lemonade,
I have.
some tea action going on.
I
am
drinking water.
Trying to be good, and drinking my water.
No vodka today.
No vodka today, people.
It was yesterday.
Mm.
Okay.
This is going to be rough.
It is going to be rough. And I'm going to start out saying why it's specifically rough for me. Well, it was very rough for the whole community in Springfield. It was just devastating. I'm sure if you're from this area, you remember it very vividly. But back in, I have to think about what year it was. 2009.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Haley was a student of mine when I worked at Bowerman Elementary.
Yes.
So that's my personal connection to this. So that's why it's.
You knew her.
I knew her for 2 years, and just a sweet, sweet little girl. And
it's heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. And I'm going to try and hold it together. But so. I'll read the obituary, and then we'll get into the case, okay?
Yep.
All right, Haley Owens was born August 18th, 2003, in Springfield, Missouri. She went to heaven on February 18th, 2014, at the age of 10. Haley was a high-spirited, happy child. She was kind-hearted, full of life, full of laughter, and full of love. She enjoyed helping her mom with laundry, cooking, and babysitting. She was thrilled that she was getting ready to become an aunt. At times, Haley was a girly girl who loved painting her fingernails, watching princess movies, playing dress-up, getting her hair fixed, and having her picture taken by her sister at Nathaniel Green Park. At other times, she was a tomboy who loved playing in the mud and riding her bike in a creek. Haley loved to talk, enjoyed all kinds of music, and the colors pink and purple were her favorites. She attended Bowerman Elementary for kindergarten through 2nd grade and was currently a 4th grader at Westport Elementary. She was a believer in Jesus Christ and had a positive impact on everyone who knew her. She will be greatly missed. She was survived by her parents, brothers,
lots of friends,
sister, family, friends, so forth.
They mentioned here.
The family is grateful for the support, encouragement, and the love they received from people locally, nationally, and globally. Donations to benefit the family may be made to the Haley Owens Memorial Fund. And then there was a visitation, funeral, so forth. So, that is
sweet little 10-year-old girl. Woof. Okay. Incident?
Yep. I guess we got to
get into it.
We committed to this.
So this was February 18th, 2014, around 5 o'clock in the evening. Haley was walking home from a friend's house where we just were in the Westside neighborhood, Lombard Street, when a man in a truck pulled over, called to her, and asked for directions. As she approached him, he grabbed her, threw her into his truck, and sped away. Which I had always kind of wondered,
I couldn't
logistically,
picture that.
how that happened. But just now driving down that street and seeing how narrow it was,
I get it.
I don't even know if he would have had to pull over much. And if she was on the driver's side, I don't know particularly.
Yep.
But it wouldn't have taken much for him to just call her over, her approach, get just close enough.
And she was a tiny little girl.
Yeah.
Like, 10's little, but she was already, she was just small
it doesn't
statured.
take, you could, right. So it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
It says here, Michelle and Carlos Edwards were talking in their garage when they saw the truck pull up and the driver grab Haley. Michelle wrote down the license plate number, and Carlos ran after the truck, while another neighbor jumped in a vehicle and followed until the truck eluded him. Which I remember hearing when the story came out, just like, hell yeah, to that neighborhood.
I know, they jumped into action immediately.
And to immediately get the license plate number, they said they ran down the street. There were other people too, not just this couple, but several neighbors were out and about. I think it was a fairly decent evening. It wasn't very cold.
Yeah, she was walking.
And people were outside. The guy that jumped in the truck and chased down, I remember seeing, it was like one of the local news. They interviewed him, and I felt so bad for him. He was tearing up, and he just kept saying, like, I tried.
Yep.
And I can't, like, can you just imagine those poor people
and they talk about later
saw it happen and tried to do what they could, and you would always just wonder, like,
if I could have done this,
if I did better, if I
Yeah.
followed him closer, like,
Yeah.
could I have stopped it from happening, kind of thing. Ugh. Man, I'm like tearing up
I know,
too.
it's so hard.
It says, as Michelle called 911, Carlos knocked on doors trying to find the girl's parents, thinking she's living here somewhere. The search warrant application, this is from the warrant. He described the girl to a boy who said it sounded like his sister, and took Carlos to his home to talk with his mother. So, do we want to... Yeah, I guess we just keep going. So they immediately... police are called, right? They go through,
Yes.
they're searching. They talk to the parents. They talk to neighbors. They start investigating. The license plate number... license plate number goes out.
Yeah.
And then, did you have that down in towards the end?
It's out of order.
Okay.
That's fine.
No, that's okay.
Reorder it. But so an Amber Alert was issued about 2 hours after the 911 call, and we'll talk more about the significance of that.
So this was at 5, so it's not until like 7 o'clock
Yeah.
that evening until the Amber Alert goes out.
And guys, this is what's so crazy, is Amy was at my house.
Yeah.
That night. We were hanging out.
Having dinner. We used to do our like weekly
dinners together. And all of a sudden, on your iPhones, like
our
Amber
phone's
Alert
buzzing,
going on, and all the TVs coming up, and this Amber Alert, and I just remember they're flashing her picture up there,
And you
I'm
said,
like,
holy
oh my
shit,
God, that's my
she
student.
had her, yeah.
And so it's just crazy that here you and I are doing this, and you and I were together when
the Amber Alert went out.
It was
And
insane.
I think they said, it was, I don't remember specifically, but taken from neighborhood and truck, and they kind of described the truck.
Yeah.
And most of the time when you get these Amber Alerts, it's some kind of, this is like a relative or something.
Right, it's like a
or like a
parental
disgruntled custody thing. So not to say that we weren't, holy shit, oh my God, because you especially knowing her, but it was one of those in the back of your mind, you're like, well,
your mind doesn't go to this.
Or whatever, parent is taking her across the border because mad about whatever. In the meantime, during all of this searching, though, the license plate for the truck was registered in not in the kidnapper's name. It was through his parents' name in, what was the town? Ash Grove. So that actually caused a bit of a roadblock, because they searched the vehicle, went there to the home in Ash Grove to catch him, and not there. And then the parent was, oh, well, that's my son's driving that car, blah, blah, blah. So it just
kind of took up some time.
Yeah, which unfortunate. Happens. So they eventually, because they then go to the parents' house, they find out who this guy is, they know the home, they get there. And
guys, this was so fast.
It was fast, even with the delayed Amber Alert, which we'll talk about that, and even with the roadblock and going all the way to Ash Grove.
Yep. It went down fast.
It was still within a few hours.
Yeah.
I'd
by
say
10 o'clock that night.
Oh, for sure. Maybe before that.
Well, yes, but I know by the 10 o'clock news,
by 10 o'clock news, it was on, and they already had known the results. So we're talking within a few hours, this was solved.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fast enough, and there's no way it could have been.
No.
Especially when we get down to this. Says, I guess I'll read a little bit, and then you can take over.
Okay.
It says, Haley's body was found in Craig Michael Wood's home here in Springfield, where we just drove by that location. It was inside 2 garbage bags within plastic storage containers located in the basement of the house. She had been raped and shot in the back of the head. There were marks on her wrists indicating that at some point she'd been tied up.
Do you want me to take over?
Yep.
Retired Springfield officer Alan Neal testified that he found her remains in Wood's basement. He said the basement reeked of bleach, and as he searched for any trace of the girl, he found that blue tub. And later on, he showed that to the jury. Opened the tub, and he said, "I opened the tub, and I could see what appeared to be plastic bags. The outline and shape of the bags. As I got closer to it, I could tell that it was an outline of a small human body." So,
and it was a big. I've seen the picture on like the on the news when the trial was happening, and it's just like one of those giant Rubbermaid type storage bins.
Yes.
Just huge.
So they find her pretty immediately, and then they start searching the area and so forth. So the police find her clothing that Wood tried to get rid of in a strip mall trash bin behind Cosmic Fish on Glenstone Avenue, which is very close to his home.
You can reach the back of that parking lot, I think, from the neighborhood streets.
Yep. Yeah. They're just like one block over. So he just
drove right over and dumped it in a dumpster.
Surveillance footage showed Wood buying bleach and drain cleaner at Walmart. Wood's clothes and bedding were found at the Dutch Maid Laundry on National Avenue by MSU. So that's over in the corner of Cherry and National.
Yeah.
So kind of then they start investigating like
who he is
and just kind of the timeline. So they have surveillance. So we haven't said it yet, but he was a paraprofessional. Sometimes people refer to them as teacher's aide.
Yeah.
Worked at Pleasant View Middle School
here in Springfield.
So they check the surveillance. They see him 2:30 at the end of the school day.
So he went to work that day.
Yep, went to work.
He was with children.
All day.
Middle school. Yep.
So the 911 call that was at 4:47 p.m.
So really before 5.
Yeah, I mean it was right before 5.
Right before 5. Yeah.
So then they see him on surveillance at Walmart at 5:36. So 911 call goes out at 4:47. He's already fucking at Walmart
at 45 minutes, not even
5:36.
I don't understand.
Buying 2 bottles of bleach and liquid plumber.
So in that amount of time, he has taken a child to his home
and
raped her, killed her, and is now at Walmart.
Yep.
That is
what the fuck. It's so crazy.
So it does
and it's like, you know, later on in the trial, they're like, it wasn't premeditated. He was blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how could it happened so fucking fast?
I just don't understand.
I don't either.
For what?
So, they said the shirt Wood was seen wearing at Walmart was later found at the Dutch Maid Laundry. He was seen leaving Walmart at 5:46. The surveillance video behind Cosmic Fish showed Wood putting something in the dumpster, where they found Haley's clothes. They said her underwear, flip-flops, and ligatures used to bind her were never found. Which,
oh my God,
I don't even know what to say. Then he was seen again at the Walmart neighborhood market at 8:18. And the next place he is seen pulling into his driveway. Because at that point, if I remember correctly,
they were waiting for him.
Yep. And actually, I think they even were tailing him.
Yep.
Like from the laundromat, like they
were just like they were on it. Honest to God,
I was impressed.
Like, and I remember at the time thinking, damn, Springfield police,
they got this one right.
They did.
I know, and we'll get into it, like we keep saying about the time frame. But my God, it was 45 minutes from the time he got her until...
I don't think you could have, even then.
A faster Amber Alert could not have been...
Which, not saying we didn't need those.
Yes,
and we'll get into that too. We need faster Amber Alerts, but what do you do in 45 minutes?
It's so tragic.
They really did a fantastic job with this. From time to finish, they were on top of it.
And... part of the time frame is the police testified that it's 12 minutes from Haley's neighborhood, so where we were on Lombard, to Wood's house. 12 minutes. So then take off 12 minutes. It just blows my fucking mind. So the Amber Alert goes out 2 hours after that 4:47 911 call. So 6:47 is essentially 7 o'clock is when the Amber went out.
And part of that is, I guess back then you had to phone in or fax in a piece of paper to the Amber Alert system. So it just took time, bureaucracy and paperwork and all of that. And then he claimed that he was on meth.
Yeah, so that comes out in the trial. They're trying to use that as an excuse. There's
a lot of fucking meth heads around here that don't do that, so fuck off.
Just pick their skin.
Piece of shit.
Okay,
Sorry.
so information about Wood. He was born in 1968. He worked in Springfield, like we said, as a paraprofessional, and worked for 16 years as a school football coach at PV, Pleasant View Middle School. He also worked there supervising suspensions, like what we call ISS in school suspension, and as a teacher's aide and substitute teacher.
So he was in the district, and I remember this came out like the next day.
Yeah, because everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, I have friends that work at PV.
I mean, we all, let's just say it, like, we are involved in the school system here.
If you haven't figured that out. We know lots of people. And they were devastated. Never suspected a thing.
No, people at PV. We had a teacher at the time that I worked with whose daughter was at PV in middle school and knew him, and she was terrified and disgusted, and said, like, Mom, I played volleyball, and he was there, and he, like, these poor kids were just. And not just that, just the idea of, Springfield Public Schools was on major damage control.
Oh my God.
How do we explain the fact that this...
But the thing is, he had nothing. It's not like, we didn't do a background check. He had nothing in his file. I think he had a misdemeanor pot charge years ago or something.
Right.
No child porn. No anything was ever
I just remember, like, at the time, this was the very next day, so February 19th, shit hits the fan. Not only is he a child rapist and murderer, but he's worked in the school system and is currently working, so this was it just blew up. I mean, it just went nuts.
Insane. Okay, so, side note, my stepson went to PV and he was his football coach.
Shit.
Yeah. So police found over a dozen firearms in his home, which it's Springfield, Missouri. Lots of people have that.
Right.
I'm still. Anyway. And child pornography. While searching a bedroom dresser in Wood's home, they discovered stories about sexual fantasies. 2 of these handwritten stories involve girls aged 13. Also found were 4 pictures of young female students who attended the school where Wood had been employed.
Ugh.
So it comes out that he had, like, binders of these
photographs and
stories. Like, he would write these fantasy stories of underage girls and murder and...
Well, and I remember they never, they didn't release names, of course, because juveniles, but there were several students at PV that they were subpoenaed. They were called in and questioned because he had their pictures.
Right.
He had their names written down. Mm-hmm. He had, like, can you imagine?
No.
Just being 13 years old and finding that out.
Nope. So, again, he said, like I said, in 1990, he had a possession charge on him, but that was it. Excuse me. He did a misdemeanor of taking wildlife illegally.
Yes.
In 2001. Does that mean, like, taking roadkill?
Yeah, or you don't, maybe like fishing without a license or something. I don't know how
I do know he was a huge fisher because a teacher at PV that he was good friends with. Just like 2 weeks before this, they went out fishing together. Can you imagine being friends with him?
Even just working
Devastated.
with this person. I can't even imagine. Like, I said hi to them every day. I saw that, like
2 weeks after this all went down, we were over at some friend's house where a bunch of PV teachers were.
Yeah.
It was so...
You
could just tell they were devastated.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about it, but you could tell it was just there in the air. And oh my gosh.
He was not married, never had kids.
Nope.
So
that's that piece of shit.
Yeah. He was charged with murder, kidnapping, rape, sodomy, and armed criminal action. His trial began in 2017, October 30th, 2017. So, math. 3 years later, they worked really hard to get it out of the area. And I forget where was it. It was not in Springfield, right?
Why do I want to say it was like towards Kansas City?
Yeah, it was not. The defense,
right?
Which you couldn't.
There's
this was
way.
So shocking.
This was in People magazine, and Huffington Post and New York Times.
And it really was one of those cases that just kind of rocked the Springfield community as a whole. Like, this was too impactful and too big. And so the trial was not here, but it was October 30th, 2017. Prosecutors intended to seek the death penalty against the wishes of the victim's family. Haley's mother wanted to avoid a trial, and so she asked Patterson to accept a plea deal. The defense was that the crimes were committed by Wood but were not premeditated. So the idea of death penalty at first was, let's just get this over with. Get the fucker in jail and get it over with. On October 2nd, so October 30th, on November 2nd. So October 30th through November 2nd, so
a week.
The jury found Craig Wood guilty of first-degree murder. The same jury could not agree on a unanimous verdict for the death penalty, leaving the judge to decide on the sentence.
Which is pretty impressive that this happened in 2014 and went to trial in 3 years.
Yeah. I mean,
usually it takes so
long time. Right. And I think that was the mother, the family, just, let's just be done with this.
Yeah.
So the jury couldn't agree on the penalty. They did agree first degree murder. So it went to the judge. So on January 11th, 2018, so almost 4 years later, just a month shy of 4 years later, Judge Thomas Mountjoy sentenced Craig Wood to death by lethal injection. Despite having initially opposed the state's decision to seek the death penalty, Owen's mother expressed support for Wood's death sentence, saying that Wood, quote, got what he deserved, end quote.
Yep.
So he is now currently waiting on...
Yes, well, he did try to appeal.
Yes.
In just last April, but they upheld it in July.
Yep.
The sentence.
Yeah, so he was going to appeal the death penalty, at least the penalty part of it,
And so one thing I always think about in circumstances like this, like, I always think about, of course, the victims, but then you think about the family of the perpetrator and, like, what they go through. And I am so in awe of
his parents.
They sat with Haley's mother.
They have worked, yes.
They worked together. They've
gone out of their way. And not in the same way. Not in the same way at all, but in a way, they lost a son.
Well, correct.
Through this. You know what I mean? I mean, they had no idea. They were even shocked that all of this kind of came about. And I can't imagine...
Here's their son in his 50s.
What they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Again.
Not the same.
Not the same.
I have complete empathy for them. Because it's like... But the fact that they stood up and just said, you know what? Our son did a horrible thing, and we're here to support you.
Yep.
The victims.
And they've worked with Haley's parents to, like, which we'll talk about Haley's Law here in just a second, but they were there. They stood there behind the governor's desk when he signed it. Craig Wood's parents have been a part of all of this as well.
Because how hard is that? Because
I can't imagine that either. Like, your child did this.
Yep.
And you would never... I mean, you would still love them.
Would you?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's your kid.
I wonder if they even go see him.
You know? It's still your kid, but it's not your kid anymore. It's not that kid. It's not... You've lost him.
No.
You know? And the whole thing is horrible.
It is.
Piece of fucking shit.
So... kind of just in the aftermath, a few things that happened, like immediately after, this went down in 24 hours between the kidnapping, the murder, and the fighting him, and all of this.
Who it was, and all of it.
It was out in the public within a day.
Yeah.
So there was a candlelight vigil held. I mean, 10,000 people marched in our city.
Huge march.
Haley's favorite color is purple. Everyone was wearing purple ribbons. Yep. I still have the purple ribbon that I made because I didn't have any ribbons, so I just colored a purple ribbon and I cut it out, and I still have that.
I remember seeing on the news they had all the purple lights.
Yep.
And it was just like thousands of people with these purple lights.
And then I remember leaving our porch lights on. Everyone was supposed to leave their porch lights on in memory of her. The neighborhood park, so by Westport.
Yep.
It's a K through 8
The school. Yeah.
But she was in the middle school part. So they named a park after her. Haley's Playground was dedicated to her. There's Haley's Angels logos can still be seen around Springfield at the playground at Westport.
The little garden, community garden
yes,
that we just...
so
they it was within
the year.
Yeah, I'd say a few months. It happened pretty quickly.
I'm sure
house,
the parents...
They
owned that
It
house.
was their home.
And they're like, they
got rid of it. They
tore
said,
that
get the
bitch
house
down.
out of here. We want nothing of that home to stand. And so right now there's that little, we just drove by, the little garden.
So,
and this was, I just remember, it's one of those cases, I mean, like we talked about with Amber Alerts, not that any child abduction case is less than any others. It's always still terrifying, even if the person's related to the child and takes them away. But again, it was this idea that it doesn't seem to happen, this type of abduction. Like, this was out of the blue. A little girl walking down the street and a complete fucking stranger in a truck snagged her off the road.
Like that stranger, like we always grew up stranger danger, whatever. Right, but it's actually really fucking rare.
Right. And I think it was that, it just was so shocking and so terrifying. And people, again, I remember people, my kid didn't go out and play for a while. Yeah. We made sure it just scared people. And it was just, I mean, obviously you can't predict this shit from happening. But it would, I will never get over the time frame. I know.
And I just kept saying, what fucking happened? What snapped in his brain?
Right.
He'd never done anything before.
Right.
And now he had some fucked up hobbies.
He had some sick shit going on. But that's the thing. He never
acted on it.
Does it? I don't know. And to just... He was at work.
Well...
I mean, work got out at
2:30.
If that.
Yeah.
2:45 probably? 3 o'clock by the time he left?
Yeah.
And within an hour and a half, he'd already done his meth and has decided to cruise around a neighborhood and just...
Get a little girl.
Grab...
I don't know. And we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Don't know that I want to know.
No.
But it's just absolutely the worst fucking thing on the planet. So...
There's some more aftermath stuff here.
Yeah, so there's some kind of sidebar stuff, So Haley's one stepfather, he was still married to her mom when this happened.
Yes. And
when Haley was kidnapped.
Yes, they interviewed him and talked to him.
And he was part of the, interviews and all that. Well, then it comes out, I forgot what year. 2012. Well, the dates were between 2012 and 2016.
Right, so it was a couple years after the incident.
That he gets indicted on federal porn charges.
Child porn charges.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
So, this is her one stepfather.
But as soon as this happened, her mom divorced him.
Yes.
So, good for her. But there's no evidence or anything that
she was involved in.
Haley was
part of that.
Hurt by that.
It's just like another thing.
It's just one more thing that comes up,
But there were a lot of questions behind it.
Yeah,
and was there a connection between the stepfather and Wood? And was there an underground
child ring?
And I don't think so.
No,
I think it was just another shitty thing.
Yep. So then, the best thing that came out of this, if we can even put those words in there, is Haley's Law. And so that's why we chose to do this right now, is because 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Haley's Law was became an official signed into a law.
Yes.
So, do you want to talk about what it is?
Sure. So, basically what this is the family worked really hard with Craig Woods' parents to improve Missouri's Amber Alert system. Because it was 2 hours before they were able, and they just said it was too slow. We need to make this easier. We need to be able to get an Amber Alert out immediately. And so basically what this law says now is that law enforcement will issue alerts out electronically, which makes it easier and faster. So this finally got passed. There was some you know how laws go.
Yeah,
it took a while, but it finally got passed. Our governor signed it into law, and it is officially in effect. The father of Haley Owens and the father of her killer stood side by side behind the governor while he signed this. They've worked together. Both sides have worked together, and it's called Haley's Law. And so it is now
official.
Amber alerts in the state of Missouri can now be processed and issued much faster and quicker.
So, yeah. Just say that got most of our information from the Springfield News Leader, Wikipedia, Huffington Post, KY3, NPR. So there's our sources.
Yep.
Guys, sorry it was such a downer.
Yeah, I don't even really have anything funny to say, but I mean, it is a one we have to cover, and it was kind of
got it out of the way, though.
Yeah.
Because I know
not that any of them are fun.
No,
we never want to say
not.
that. But
of course not. But this one just was hit so close to home, and which there are going to be some other ones that also we have personal connections to, but this one it's
just so sad.
Yep, heartbreaking.
But
all right. So guys, go do something good for someone today.
Yeah. That's the way to end this.
Yeah.
Also, it's telling people where to find us.
Yes.
That's the way to end this.
Yes.
So go do something good for someone
Number
else today.
Yeah.
And then follow us on Instagram.
Share it with some friends.
Send us an email. Rate us, review us, all the things.
Yep.